Hello guys, good evening. This is Life Issue. This is Blessing. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Don't forget to hit the red button so that you can subscribe to our channel and get news once we upload it. Coronavirus centers, the isolation center. Whose responsibility is it to fund, to build, and to make sure that every facility in those centers are functioning very well? Is it the federal government, state government, local government, or men of God? This evening, I want to talk about Pastor Tunde Bakare's comment about men of God opening their churches to be centers for coronavirus. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the different coronavirus centers that we have in Nigeria. Some of them are makeshift centers in stadium. Some of them are facilities that government have actually been using, like local government or buildings. Now, if you've not seen the video from Pastor Tunde Bakare, I'm going to play it for you. I'm also going to people's reaction to what he said before I come and I talk about it. So watch Pastor Tunde Bakare's comment about what pastors should be doing with their church building. Please watch this.
I recommend that our church halls be made available to governments as isolation centers, and those of us who could afford it should be there to support the government.
Thank you so much for watching that. According to Pastor Tunde Bakare, pastors are supposed to open up their churches for government. Now, Nigerian government, these are governments that have been giving close to 50 billion naira, even more than 50 billion naira, by international organizations, by individuals, for them to prepare for COVID and for them to get ready. We cannot in any way account for this money. Anyway, I'm not aware of anyone from the South, because I've been asking and I've done a poll on this, and not even one person from the South indicated that they have gotten any money. So, if the international community like WHO, Germany, UK, America, they've given Nigerian government billions of naira for them to fight the virus. If Nigerian billionaires and companies have given the federal government money to fight this virus, I wonder why Pastor Tunde Bakare should now lay the blame on pastors. I know that Nigerian society, we talk about our pastors a lot. I mean, we've talked about the fact that pastors should be more compassionate. They should actually show their social responsibility this time. And most churches did do that. I'm aware that Christ Embassy did that. I'm aware that Winners did that. So many churches, Daystar did that. So many churches rose up to the occasion and they actually provided relief and palliative for the community and for their members. Now, why would a church open up their church building for it to be an isolation center? Let me ask a question. We have stadiums. We have like 3 stadiums in Lagos State. We have schools which are empty, both private and public schools which are empty, which the same government, most of the public schools have not been fully equipped. Their buildings have been decaying, and this same government did not take care of these buildings, did not take care of their facility. We also have party houses, which are all empty. We have secretariats. We have offices like JAMB office, WAEC office. We have different secretariats, different local government offices. Some of them have units like rooms, like hospitals, like you could actually see them demarcated like hospitals. Why is Tunde Bakare clamoring for churches to open their door to be isolation center without first offering the government to use their own government facility first? If all these facilities are fully used, then we can now talk about the churches. I see political motivation in his comment or in his suggestion. Let me tell you, let me say this. Why are we playing politics with people's life? Why is it trying to shoot a cheap publicity by his comments? Why is everything in Nigeria all about people's selfish interests? Time and time again, he has always indicated he wants to be the president of Nigeria, or he wants to be a running mate of a president. He has told us how many times how God has told him that he is going to be the president or the vice president. Can he not try to use this epidemic for political gain? Pastor Tunde Bakare, I tried to Google your church and to find out what you've done so far to help the needy in the society, to help your church members, and which charity that you have used or given money to help people now they are hungry. I'm sorry to say maybe you are doing, I'm not saying you're not doing, but it's not fair. I can't even find anything your church is doing. But now you want pastors to open up their church to be used as isolation center. Now, wow. Let me ask. Bank no day. Do you know how many banks we have in Nigeria with halls? Do you know how many town halls we have in Nigeria? Do you know how many schools we have in Nigeria? Do you know how many stadiums that we have in Nigeria? Do you know how many local government secretariats and offices we have in Nigeria? Why is it the church? Why must it be the church that you are after? Hey, when some men of God talk about politicians that have collected money or that have been bribed to just be talking anyhow, we wonder who are they? But some of the comments that come out from our men of God, makes us understand that yes, some of you are being paid at this time to just make suggestions that will either make the people or the masses to be angry and to be agitated. But thank God that people saw through your comment and through your suggestion, and this is what people are saying. People are asking, why church? Why didn't you say the mosque? Why are you so particular about the churches? If you want to give your own church, just give your own church. Must you suggest for all the churches what they should be doing with their own ministry? And let's be frank, some churches are not just only a place to come for service. They have other things happening in those buildings. Churches are actually a spiritual place, house of God, unless you decide that churches are just empty buildings. But if you believe that churches are holy places, if you that call yourself a man of God believe that your church is a holy place, why would you suggest such thing? Me, when things are said that doesn't make sense, I will talk about it. I don't see any sense in what you have said. I don't get it. I don't really get it. Are you blinded by political appointment that you don't really care what you say? Now, I'm not attacking him on his anointing. He's a man of God though. But sometimes some of our men of God need to actually think before they open their mouth. Because we are not stupid. In the UK, we have Church of England. We have different churches. Throughout this epidemic, nobody mentioned the church being used as an isolation center. Rather, they used stadium, they used event center. Do you know how many event centers we have in Nigeria? Town halls and meeting places. You did not talk about that. Your eyes is on the churches because they sent you. I know we bash our pastors. I know we're always talking about our pastors. But really, some things that we say that doesn't make sense. And many Nigerians are actually thinking that you are being deceptive by what you are saying. Because why must it be the church? Of course, you have some supporters, but thank God they are not much. Pastor Tunde Bakare, please. This is just my opinion about this particular comment that he made. I strongly don't believe that churches should be opened for isolation center. Government should use their own institution, should use all these places that have called first. Now, if people are still dying, that means there's fire on the mountain in Nigeria because we have a lot of empty space to be used. There are no local government without at least 3 or 4 primary and secondary school halls. There are so many places to be used before we now start talking about churches. Let's not be quick to condemn and talk about churches. We're not fighting with God. We're not fighting with God. Let's leave our men of God for now. They have been bashed enough. Their tithe is not coming. Their offerings are not coming. Some of them are not able to pay their staffs. Some of them are not able to, continue with their lifestyle. Their private jet, they cannot fuel it. They can't even travel. So let's leave them for now. Don't take away the churches again. The church that they built with our tithe money. You want to take it again. This is not right too. We're not fighting God. We're not fighting pastors. We are fighting coronavirus. Thank you so much. This is my take on this. What do you guys think? Drop your comment. Bye-bye.